welcome members, officers, and members of the public in the room and watching on YouTube at home to this annual council meeting. Before the meeting starts, I would like to invite the committee member and scrutiny manager to update you on the systems being used.
Thank you, Councillor Bartwas. So good evening, members. Rules of debate. If a member wishes to speak, they should use the speak button located on your microphone unit in front of you. The microphone will light up green and the chair will be alerted of your request to speak. When the chair invites you to speak, your microphone will be made live and will turn red, at which point you can speak. The normal procedure rules in respect of debate and time to speak will apply. Voting. As you might remember from last year's annual council, there will be multiple methods of voting in use at this evening's meeting. Generally, voting will take place via the yes, no, abstain buttons on your microphone unit. In this instant, details of how members voted will be shown on the screens around the room and the result will be visible on the YouTube stream. Where a vote is required on appointments to a position, this will take place using only the yes button on the unit in front of you. I will outline each of the nominees for the position and will outline how many times you can vote yes. I will outline the process in further details when we come to that vote. There will also be elections to the chair and vice chair of the community forums taking place during the adjournment of this meeting. The vote for this will take place with members from the relevant areas and the vote will be conducted by raising your hand. I will confirm which relevant members are for the area and will ask you to stand if you are able at the start of the community forum meeting. Where only one nomination for chair or vice chair position is received, there will not be a vote. In the event of a tied vote, the chair will have a deciding vote. Are there any questions before we proceed with the meeting tonight? No, thank you. I will now hand back to the Vice Chair of Council, Councillor Tina Bartwas, for nominations of chair.
Thank you. Item 1, election of the chair of the council for the civic year 2025-26. Can I invite nominations for the chair of council for this civic year ahead? Thank you. Councillor Brown.
Thank you, Chair. I would like to nominate Councillor Keith Hoskins for chair of this council. We all know what dedication Councillor Hoskins has shown to this district over many, many years and that he is widely respected in our communities. And I'm sure he will represent this council extremely well for the year to come. Thank you.
Can I have a seconder, please? Councillor Bryant.
Second.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations for chair of the council? Wonderful. We will be going to the vote, please.
Chair, that motion is carried. It is agreed that Councillor Keith Hoskins will be the chair of the council for the civic year 2025-2026.
Formal bit comes first. I have to read my declaration of acceptance. I, Keith Hoskins, having been elected to the office of Chair for the District of North Hertfordshire, hereby declare that I take the said office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties thereof according to the best of my judgment and ability. I undertake to observe the Code of Conduct, which for the time being applies to me as a councillor of North Hertfordshire District Council, and I shall now sign using my Careline pen. Right. Thank you. Well, thank you, colleagues, for this. As you know, my approach has always been, in whatever I'm doing, to be collegiate and cooperative. We are, after all, a cooperative council. So I'm hoping that that will permeate the whole of the year. We don't have any elections, I don't think, forthcoming. So there's really no need for anybody to hog the camera or or come along with their sound bites that are so much a requirement of social media these days. So I'm hoping that we can all be fairly calm and collected about it. I'm treating this as an encore, actually, because some of you will remember that back in 2020, in that wonderful year of COVID, we had lockdown and the annual meeting for the council couldn't be in this chamber because we couldn't socially distance. So we had to be in Hitchin Town Hall, and it was like entering an exam room, wasn't it? And we had no electronic voting. And you very kindly, all of you, mainly through the good offices of the late Paul Clark, who was the Lib Dem leader at the time, and Elizabeth Dennis, who was the Labour leader at the time, proposed that I should chair that meeting. So yes, I'm treating this as an encore. All right. I've waited 5 years to do it, but there we are. A long time. There will be a consort for the year, and it also in the almost following the theme of an encore. For 22 years, I sort of ran Hitchin Town Centre with the very able assistant of my, I don't know, how would you describe a secretary come assistant come vice town centre manager, Cherry Lincoln. So I think it's only right and proper that I should confer that on her. So she will be my consort. Okay, back to the more formal business. I would like to propose that the council places on record its sincere thanks and appreciation to Councillor Claire Billing for her service as chair of the council during the past year, and also to her consort Elizabeth Leonard for her help and support during her term of office. Can I have a seconder, please? Thank you, Councillor Daniel Allen. Right, does everyone agree? Fine. So much better than having to push buttons. I'll take that as your assent. Okay. We have some apologies for absence. We have apologies from councillors Claire Billing, Claire Strong, Paul Ward, Dominic Griffiths, Caroline MacDonald, Tamsin Thomas and Tim Johnson. Are there any further apologies? Councillor Daniel Allen. Daniel.
Councillor Claire Billing.
Councillor Claire Billing. Oh, I thought I'd said her.
You read that out? My apologies, Keith.
I know I'm easy to ignore. It's all right. Right, so we go to election of the vice chair of the council for the civic year. Can I invite nominations for the vice chair of the council for the civic year 2025-26? Councillor Daniel Allen. Daniel.
I would like to propose Councillor Sadie Billing, please.
And can I have a seconder? And I think that's Councillor Val Bryant. Val.
I'd like to second Sadie.
Okay. Are there any further nominations for vice chair of the council? None that I'm seeing.
Chair, anything officially
Matt.
withdrawing?
Councillor Barnes. Matt Barnes.
Okay, I'd like to withdraw my nomination.
Okay. I think we got that. Okay, so there are no further nominations for vice chair of the council. So will you go to the vote, please, on that?
Yeah, that motion is carried. It is agreed that Councillor Sadie Billing will be the Vice Chair of the Council for the civic year 2025 to 2026.
Congratulations, Sadie, and come up and get your badge of office. Right?
I, Sadie Billing, having been elected to the office of Vice Chair for the District of North Hertfordshire, hereby declare that I take the said office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties thereof according to the best of my judgment and ability. I undertake to observe the Code of Conduct, which for the time being applies to me as a Councillor of North Hertfordshire District Council. Thank you.
Thanks, Sadie, and welcome. I'm taking over from Claire and perhaps passing on to Sadie. I'm like the council's filling in the billings, aren't I, really? Hey ho. Right, here we go. Back to the formalities. Item 4 minutes. I would like to propose that we take as read and approve as a true record the minutes of the meeting of the council held on the 27th of February 2025. Can I have a seconder? Councillor Daniel Allen, thank you. Any comments? I'm not seeing any. Okay, I'd love to do this by acclamation, but we need to press buttons, so please press buttons.
Yeah, that motion is carried.
Thank you. Thanks, Susan, very much. Okay, item 5, there's various chairs announcements which I need to make on recording. In accordance with council policy, this meeting is being live streamed and recorded, as has already been mentioned. The recordings will be available on both the council's YouTube page as well as the council's ModGov site. So it's live streamed, so that we welcome those who are watching across the district, across the county, across the nation, across the world, perhaps. Who knows? A little self-indulgence for one moment. I know we have some former residents of North Hart, so can I just say good morning, Canada? That's fine. Item 2, climate emergency and ecological emergency. Members are reminded that this council has declared both a climate emergency and an ecological emergency. These are serious decisions and mean that, as these are emergencies, all of us, officers and members, have that in mind as we carry out our various roles and tasks for the benefit of the district. More details are included on the agenda front sheet. I never want to pay lip service to that. Well, we trot that out by rote at each of our meetings, but I do hope that certainly at full council meetings we really take them to heart and think about them. Item 3, declarations of interest. Members are reminded to make declarations of interest before an item. The detailed reminder about this and speaking rights is set out under Chair's announcements on the agenda. Item 4, debate procedure. Please can I remind you that the normal procedure rules in respect of debate and times to speak will apply. No speeches may be made after the mover has moved a motion and explained the purpose of it until the motion has been seconded. When seconding a motion or amendment, a member may reserve their speech until later in the debate. And in accordance with the Constitution, please can members ensure that no speech exceeds 3 minutes without the consent of the chair, which will rarely be given. Item 5, comfort break. For the purposes of clarification, 4.8.23 in brackets A of the Constitution, which I'm sure you all know by heart, does not apply to this meeting. Therefore, a member may leave the room during the debate and consideration of that item and be able to vote. However, please be mindful of the business on the agenda and wherever possible, leave it at an appropriate point in the proceedings. I will suggest a comfort break at an appropriate time in the meeting should proceedings continue at length, but I hope this meeting will not be one of those occasions. Item 6, County Council elections. Congratulations to all the councillors from across Hertfordshire who were successful in their election to the County Council in the recent elections. Specifically at North Herts, I'd like to congratulate councillors Ian Albert, Tina Bartwas, Alistair Willoughby, Ruth Brown, Steve Jarvis, Sean Prendergast, Chris Lucas, Ralph Munzer and David Barnard on their successful election or re-election. Historians will be able to tell me, but I think that may be the first time that all 9 county councillors in North Hertfordshire are also district councillors, and some of them even town councillors. So twin hatters all. Anybody think they knew something about local government reorganisation? Right. Furthermore, to those candidates across the county and at North Herts who were unsuccessful in being elected or in re-election, commiserations as always to you, but putting themselves forward as a candidate is always a brave thing to do, and you should be proud of any effort to represent your community. Any group leaders wish to comment at all? Councillor Daniel Allen. Daniel.
Thank you very much, Keith. And could I just start by saying I am really happy to see you in that seat. I'd like to congratulate Councillor Steve Jarvis on being elected as the leader of Hertfordshire County Council. Really, congratulations. I'm confident he'll make significant changes to improve the lives of Hertfordshire residents. I'm delighted to hear his initial statement on potholes and special educational needs. On the county elections, I'd also like to thank everybody in this chamber for their hard work. Please can everyone look around them all parties. North Hertfordshire has remained a reform-free area thanks to the incredibly hard work by everyone, no matter what party they campaigned for. Well done. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank all the officers and people that were involved in the elections. 3 elections in a year. Mel, I am hugely impressed, and everyone did so well. Thank you ever so much to all the officers as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Ruth Brown. Ruth.
Thank you. And I'd just like to echo the remarks of the chair to say congratulations to all my fellow county councillors. It is very exciting. And also Councillor Allen's remarks about North Herts and how we've kept reform out. I think that was really good. I think these were historic elections. We saw a rejection of the 2 main parties, and we saw for the first time ever a Lib Dem administration at Herts County Council. And I want to especially congratulate Steve Jarvis on his election as leader of the County Council. And I believe it was a vote for change, and we hope to deliver that change as a Lib Dem administration. We will certainly do our best to the most of our ability, and work hard to deliver that change that our electors have voted for. And I think, yes, thank you very much. I think that's all I wanted to say.
Thanks. And Councillor Ralph Munster. Ralph.
Thank you, Keith. And could I put on record my thanks to all of the team here at the District Council for the work that they did to put these elections on. You know, I mean, of course, all of us candidates, you know, we put ourselves forward, but democracy wouldn't be able to function and people wouldn't be able to have their say if we didn't have the fantastic Democratic Services team that we have. And we're very, very lucky to have them. I attended another count elsewhere in a district which shall remain nameless, and the professionalism of which North Herts operates on in terms of their count is truly noticeable. So well done, Mel, and your team. And congratulations, of course, to all of those who were successful, and commiserations to those who weren't. Councillor Brown references the minority Liberal Democrat administration at County Hall. A number of sound bites were made during the election campaign, and I know that Conservative colleagues at County Hall will be very much holding the Liberal Democrat minority administration to account on them. But I do think that it is a really opportunity for pride that actually we have the leader of the County Council in this chamber, we have the Cabinet Member for Resources in this chamber, we have the Deputy Cabinet Member for Highways, no, forgive me, Environment, Transport and Growth. And I know that, well, I certainly hope that the contributions of which are made by district councillors across this chamber are taken away back to County Hall, so that actually, you know, we have a county council that is going to continue to deliver for residents across North Hertfordshire.
Thanks, Ralph. Yes, we're probably going to leave political soundbites more to the county, I hope, in the district. I add my congratulations as well. I'm always in awe of Mel's team when they do elections. They're absolutely brilliant. And also my huge congratulations as well to Steve Jarvis, who is living embodiment of the truth that persistence pays off. So well done. Right, we're back to the agenda. Registers of interest. Members are required by law to update their registers of interest forms within 28 days of a change of circumstances. Failure to do so would be a potential criminal offence. This includes any members elected to county council, so any of new ones must update it, and any appointments made to outside organisations at tonight's meeting. Forms will need to be completed on your council laptops. If you believe you have an interest that will be classed as sensitive and you do not believe it should be on the public register, you must still disclose this to the monitoring officer and set out why this should be withheld. If you have any issues accessing the form, please contact committee services team. And while we're on the county council election expenses, another reminder, you must complete and return your election expenses by Friday the 6th of June for the county elections, even if the return is nil. Failure to submit a spending return and or declaration by the deadline without an authorised excuse is a criminal offence. Additionally, anyone elected who has not submitted a spending return and or declaration by the required deadline should not be sitting or voting. If you need the form resending, again, please contact the electoral services team and return them on time. There is also a post-election survey out. Councillors, candidates and agents will have received a post-election survey from the electoral services team. I'd encourage you to complete and return that by the 31st of May, so it's only another week or so. In addition, we have been asked to complete an evaluation form following the members' induction and each subsequent training session. Again, please, may I encourage you to complete and return. It's really important for the respective teams to identify areas of improvement as well as what worked well. Right, item 10, last year's chair's charity, the fundraising total. Claire Billings' chosen charity was SANS, and I'm pleased to announce the amount of money raised for that was £1,859.08. As Claire's not able to attend tonight's meeting, we will arrange for a formal handover at perhaps the next meeting of full council, when we'll invite a representative from SANS. Right, and now thanks to the PA. So again, on Claire's behalf, I will be arranging for flowers to be delivered to Penny Copestake, the Chair's Secretary, in recognition and thanks for her hard work and support that she has provided over the past year. Penny has provided support to the Chair of Council for a number of years now and has been invaluable in managing the Chair and attending events around the district on behalf of the Council. In addition, Penny will be retiring in July 2025. Nothing to do with me, taking over, I don't think. And I'm sure I speak for all former chairs who have worked with Penny in wishing her a very happy and well-deserved retirement. Any comment from any who have worked with her? Or Ruth Brown was first. Ruth?
Thank you, Chair. Penny has worked hard in the background. I think it would be right to say that her role hasn't been very obvious. And the fact that we haven't noticed her role probably means that everything was running very smoothly and efficiently, because you would notice if it wasn't. And I think she's not only been the chair's PA, but she's worked for Jeanette as well. And I've experienced her more in that role. And she's been extremely efficient, unobtrusive, and just quietly getting on with the job, the task in hand. And I want to thank her for that.
Okay, thank you. Daniel?
Penny was incredibly helpful to me when I was chair of the council. She enabled me to attend multiple meetings, sometimes on the same day. She was very, very supportive, and I wish her the best in her retirement, and thank her very much.
Thank you. Ralph?
Thank you, Chair. And like Councillor Brown, my relationship with Penny is very much for the assistant for Jeanette. I know that she has been incredibly accommodating, setting up all of those meetings, making sure that group leaders have the information that we're then able to disseminate down to our colleagues, and making sure that we're fully abreast of what's going on in the Legal and Governance Directorate at the Council. So have a very well-earned retirement, and thank you for your service to the people of North Hertfordshire.
And I have Councillor Val Bryant. Val?
Thank you. Some of you may not know that, in fact, you still hear from Penny because she's the admin support behind the White Ribbon Initiative. And she very much is the power that drives it forward and makes sure that at every meeting we actually do make small steps. Thank you, Penny.
And Tina Bartwas. Tina?
Thank you, Chair, and congratulations again on your appointment to chair of this council. I would like to record my personal thanks to Penny on behalf of myself and my consort, and to say that we found her to be incredibly organised and supportive during my time as vice chair of this council, and I'm sure that all colleagues will join me in wishing her the best in her retirement. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tina. Sounds like I'm going to miss her. Right, moving on. Another retirement. I'm going to start taking this personally soon. Ian Fulstone. As members will be aware, Ian Fulstone will be retiring shortly after more than 35 years at the council. I think Ian left nursery and came straight to local government. Ian joined the council on 12th of February 1990 as Assistant Building Control Officer after answering an advertisement in the St Albans Observer. Where else? In September of that year, he began with the Central London Polytechnic, studying BSc Building Control Surveying Introduction, receiving first-class honours in July 1995. Peter Moss, then head of planning, who some of you will remember, said at the time that this result was achieved by hard work and dedication. Ian moved to the post of building control surveyor as a result in October 1995. In June 1996, Ian passed the Institution of Building Control qualification. This gave him corporate membership and promotion to senior building control surveyor in October 1996. Further promotions followed, becoming Principal Building Control Surveyor in February 2002, and in November 2005 became Building Control Manager. In June 2009, Ian was awarded a postgraduate diploma in Emergency Planning Management. 1st of September 2009, he became Head of Development and Building Control, and from August 2012, he acted as Strategic Director, Planning, Housing and Enterprise, and on the 1st of June 2018, he became the Regulatory Service Director following a restructure. Ian played an integral role in the creation of the multi-award winning Hertfordshire Building Control Services in 2016, a shared service which now operates for 8 districts and boroughs, which is also able to offer services to the development industry. Without Ian's drive, commitment and political nous, the lengthy and often painful journey to agreement would almost certainly not have had a successful conclusion. These same skills were also evident as Ian helped steer the council through our local plan process, culminating in its adoption in November 2022. Gosh, don't we remember that? Our first new plan since 1996. As chair of the Council's Safety Advisory Group, Ian has also helped ensure multiple large events proceeded safely for the enjoyment of residents and visitors, including many large festivals and concerts at Nebworth House, which I think he actually went and visited personally. I can't imagine Ian in the mosh pit there, but there you go. Ian has been a tremendous servant to the council, and the legacy of what he achieved will last for many more years. We wish him a long and enjoyable retirement. I'll take comments from anybody else. First one I have is Daniel Allen. Daniel.
Thank you. Ian's legacy in North Herts is nothing short of remarkable. Over 3 decades, he helped shape the way this district looks, feels and functions. From planning and infrastructure to growth and development, always with a clear eye on the future and a deep respect for the past. His fingerprints are all over this district, and they always will be. I hope you enjoy your retirement, Ian. You've more than earned it, but please know you'll be missed more than you can imagine. Thank you, Ian.
Next I have is Ralph Muntzer. Ralph.
Thank you. I mean, Ian Falstone, you've just read out the list of achievements, and they are truly endless. You know, the fact is that North Herts has very much been, every part of this district has very much been touched by the contribution that he's made to this council. And I very much still remember and recall when I was first elected to this authority, and I came for my induction, and he was the first officer who came, shook my hand, introduced himself, and started asking the many questions that I had, and that sums him up. He was always and has always been so incredibly helpful. He's been so incredibly respectful, and he's always been someone who has been trying to find a solution to the problems that we face in our communities. And I think the story that he has to tell of 35 years of dedicated service to this authority, starting off as an apprentice and working his way up to become a service director, I think to anyone in this authority who is to the lower end of the rank structure and the grades, it just shows that you have the opportunity here to grow and to get to that senior management position. And I think that's something of which is to be applauded. And it was very good to see that he hasn't left us just yet. He was helping with the counting of the votes and the ballots at the county council election. So have a very happy retirement, Ian, and I hope to see you on the golf course.
You've no time for that. And Ruth Brown. Ruth.
Thank you. Well, I echo many of the remarks that have been made. Congratulations to Ian Falstone on a very long career with North Herts, starting as an apprentice and moving right through to service director. It is a great story, and hopefully inspires other people who join as apprentices that is a possibility, and there are ways forward within this council, and there are those opportunities to grow and develop and be promoted. When I've known Ian best, I think, as a cabinet member for planning and transport, I found that a huge portfolio to handle. And then at the same time, he was responsible for housing, environmental health and licensing on top of all of that. And of course, he was also deputy MD to Anthony for a while. And I think it became evident that was too much, and which is why we restructured. But he was responsible for all those areas. And I have found him to be extremely knowledgeable, and would also concur with Councillor Muntzer's comments that extremely personable too, very easy person, very approachable and easy to talk to. And I would like to wish him a long and happy retirement and many sunny days with his family in Portugal. Thank you.
Sounds like somewhere we'd all want to go. Right, everything comes in threes. So much to her embarrassment, I'm going to talk about Jeanette. Jeanette first joined the council January 2015 on a temporary contract as a senior lawyer and deputy monitoring officer. Jeanette's attention to detail, knowledge of legislation and previous experience as a monitoring officer at other authorities provided invaluable support to Anthony Roach, who was monitoring officer at the time, as the legal team was rebuilt following a number of the team leaving. Anthony still remembers, it says, his first meeting with Jeanette when during her interview she asked how many parishes there were in the district and then proceeded to correct him when he gave the wrong answer. I love that. Right, members may not be aware that being a solicitor was not Jeanette's first career. She was originally a nurse prior to retraining and qualifying as a solicitor in September 1995. I think we can all agree that the health sector's loss was definitely local government's gain. Jeanette had a number of roles as a solicitor in both public and private sector, most notably as Head of Legal and Democratic Services and Monitoring Officer at East Cambridgeshire District Council prior to joining North Herts. Jeanette became a permanent member of staff in April 2016 and in November 2017 became Acting Corporate Legal Manager and Monitoring Officer. Following the conclusion of the 2018 Senior Management restructure, Jeanette was appointed as Service Director, Legal and Community and Monitoring Officer, adding a range of service areas to her ongoing responsibilities for legal services. These areas included democratic services, policy, safeguarding, community safety, community partnerships, community wellbeing and licensing. Most recently, the role evolved again to the current Director Governance role. Jeanette's contribution to the safe running of the council should not be overlooked, ensuring compliance with processes and legalities and providing pragmatic advice to councillors when required. Most recently, her role supporting the council to become an accredited White Ribbon organisation in November last year will be a lasting legacy of her time here. Being monitoring officer can often be a fairly thankless task, and we should all be very grateful for her help and support over the last 10 years. Finally, Jeanette has been shortlisted for the Lawyers in Local Government Legal Professional of the Year Award, a lovely way to finish on a high. So all of us, and certainly I, wish Jeanette a long and happy retirement. Again, comments, Daniel Allen. Daniel.
Jeanette, on behalf of North Herts Council and personally, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you. Your unwavering professionalism, integrity and dedication have been a cornerstone of this council's work. Your guidance has been invaluable to me personally, and your support and wise counsel has helped steer us all through challenges and change. Your commitment to upholding the highest standards of governance and your calm, thoughtful approach will be genuinely missed. I owe you a deep debt of gratitude, and we all owe you for your years of service. We wish you the very best in your well-earned retirement, and I hope one day to have one of your paintings on my office wall.
Daniel, Ralph Munster. Ralph.
Thank you. And I'm very pleased that actually we still have the benefit of Jeanette's wisdom for at least another month. So let's make sure that we use it whilst we can. But Jeanette, I've been very, very fortunate to get to know you far more in my role as leader of the Conservatives here over the last year. The advice of which you've given to me, particularly on the Constitution, has been absolutely invaluable. And I know that you were very, very pleased to get through some of those amendments at a couple of meetings ago. And I have no doubt that had you stayed on, you would continue to push. But your dedication, your professionalism, it really does know no bounds. And personally, you know, as someone who is very much starting out in their legal career, I really have appreciated your counsel, your advice, and your support on that. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much.
Thanks, Ralph. Ruth.
So I've worked very closely with Jeanette in a number of roles. I think probably the first one was as deputy to the late Judy Billing in community engagement. I've got to know Jeanette very well, and obviously as a leader of the opposition and as deputy leader as well. And I've actually really enjoyed my working relationship with you, Jeanette. And I think woman to woman, we've had some good chats. And you've also listened to all my frustrations about the town council, which has been really, really helpful. I think I'm not surprised you started a life as a nurse, because one thing I have noticed, and which maybe not many people will be aware of, is your really caring attitude towards your staff. I think Jeanette was almost like a mother bear with her staff, you know, don't touch them. I'm looking after them. And I think that's a great credit. You have a really caring attitude. Also, which has already been said, conscientious, hardworking, very proactive in terms of legal and constitutional matters. I think it would be fair to say that we're not always happy with Jeanette's advice, but we do know that we can be sure it will be thorough and objective. And I, for one, will miss you. I very much appreciated your support and your responsiveness when I've asked questions and wanted advice. So enjoy your well-earned rest. Thank you.
Thanks, Ruth. And thanks again, Jeanette. On to item 6 on your agenda, which is the appointment of the Deputy Leader of the Council and members of the Cabinet for 25-26, including special interest members champions. There is an appendix to this report in the supplementary agenda pack. I invite the Leader of the Council to present and move the report. Daniel.
I would suggest that we take the report as read and welcome to any questions.
Any questions? Matt Barnes.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, I'd just like to ask about the new cabinet position of local government reorganisation and devolution. Our understanding is that that's has been a leader's responsibility, and also the group that is convened to discuss that is a group of leaders of the respective councils. So yeah, could the leader please describe the purpose of this role and what they'll be doing?
Very happily, Matt. Thank you. Local government reorganisation and devolution is the biggest thing that is going to happen to us over the next couple of years. At the moment, all communication is being done through leaders, but starting within the next couple of weeks, I believe it is, I will look at Anthony to nod at me, we will have all of our directors giving over days of the week to start preparing for local government reorganisation. I personally am not going to be able to say that I can do everything because I'm not that arrogant. As the leaders will know, I've been sharing information with them constantly about local government reorganisation and letting them know things as they've been coming through. I believe that we need to have an executive for local government reorganisation to support our officers, to make sure that we have information flowing through. From November onwards, when the next local government reorganisation paper goes through, there'll be an awful lot more work going on within the council. I truly believe it's important to get somebody working on it now rather than November, so we've got the information ready and the support for the officers. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Any further points or questions? Then we'll move to the recommendations. 2.1, that the appointment of the Deputy Leader of the Council for the civic year be noted. 2.2, that the members to be appointed as executive members of the Cabinet and the areas for which they will be responsible as detailed in Appendix A published as a supplement be noted. And that appropriate amendments to Section 14 and the Constitution generally will be made to reflect those appointments. 2.3, that the special interest member champions for 25-26, their purpose and role as detailed in Appendix A published as a supplement be noted. And 2.4, that the respective group leaders be appointed as the learning and development champions for 25-26 as outlined in paragraph 8.6. Proposer? Thank you very much, Daniel. And a seconder? Val Bryant. Thanks. Thanks very much, Val. Okay, any debate on that? Councillor Munster. Ralph.
Thank you. Well, Chair, I'm glad to see that the Labour Liberal Democrat joint administration has been resurrected. But of course, it is within the leader's gift, and I wholly appreciate that, to appoint cabinet executive members. But the point that I want to focus on this evening is a bit more about the special interest member champions, because whilst there may be many reasons as to why Councillor Allen wants to appoint these individuals, I would argue and submit to this authority that actually the role of which is set out is completely and utterly superfluous. The fact is that our cabinet, the names of which potentially could be confirmed tonight, are responsible for the areas surrounding health, young people, environment and housing. It is their responsibility. It should not be the responsibility of anyone else to do that. And by appointing these special interest member champions, what that is effectively doing is diluting the role of the cabinet member and cabinet as a whole. Now, this has an impact on, of course, scrutiny and the relationship of which is taken in terms of decisions by cabinet, and has the potential to cause an awful lot of fog and cloud, both in terms of the relationship between officers and the executive member and the cabinet members and scrutiny. I would argue that this is nothing more than to try and hold this administration together as a result of the recent defections and the potential for more. And as a result, I will be voting along with my group against this.
Okay. Well, I can't say that's the way I took it, but I'll let Councillor Adam respond.
I would question whether Councillor Munster actually bothered to read the papers. A joint administration? What planet are you on? There is literally our wonderful independent chair, and we have working very well with the Liberal Democrats, but with all due respect, they don't want to work with us and we don't want to work with them. We are going to work together. Nobody is trying to work on top of anything else. Now, the champions roles, saying that it's not the responsibility of anyone. It's all of our responsibilities to speak for people. We're trying to make sure that we have specifics spoken for. I believe that bringing forward councillors Brown, John Fernandez, Wright Mason, and we're going to have a chat about who can be our health champion, is really a benefit for the district. Ralph, I genuinely think you were going for sound bites again.
Okay, any further comments? If not, we have a proposer and a seconder of recommendations 2.1 to 2.4. So I'm going to ask you to go to the vote, please.
Yeah, that motion is carried.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll move on to item 7, appointment of members of committees, joint committees and panels for 25-26. And again, Appendix B to the report is provided in the supplementary agenda pack. Before I invite any further discussion, I've been informed the following additional appointments to those published on the Planning Control Committee, 1 Lib Dem substitute, Councillor Tina Bartos. There also remains a number of vacancies on Cabinet Panel on the Environment. There's 1 member for Labour and Cooperative. I don't know if there's any additional appointment to these positions. And there are a number of Conservative appointments, substitutes on Overview and Scrutiny, Finance, Audit and Risk, Council Tax Setting, Employment Committee, Employment Appeals Committee, Joint Staff Consultative Committee, Cabinet Panel on the Environment, and then a member for the Cabinet Panel on the Environment. Does anybody wish to confirm any additional appointments before we go to the vote on that? Councillor Munster, Ralph.
Thank you. I'll just say that I'm content with the Conservative nominations and that further nominations may be made in due course.
Thank you very much for that. Okay, so can I invite the Leader of the Council to introduce the appointment of members of committees, subcommittees, working groups and panels as amended? And I just point out that recommendation 2.2 has been removed as this is no longer required by the Liberal Democrat group. So.
Thank you very much. Would you like me to read everyone and every name, or would you like me to say we can take it as read?
Take it as read, please.
Thank you. Take it as read.
So can I have a seconder? Thank you, Val, very much. So the recommendations says to be read aloud, including bullet points. Okay, 2.1, that for 2025-26, the seats allocated to each political group on the committees to which Section 15 of the Local Government and Housing Act 1989 applies, and the seats allocated to each political party on the bodies to which Section 15 of the Local Government and Housing Act 1989 does not apply, as set out in Appendix A to this report, published as a supplement, be noted. As amended. Thank you. Prompt off stage. 2.3, that for 25-26, members be appointed to the various committees and other bodies in accordance with the wishes of the individual political groups as detailed in Appendix B to this report, published as a supplement as amended. 2.4, that for 25-26, each political group leader be appointed to the Community Governance Review Working Group as detailed in 8.6 of the report. That's been proposed and seconded. Any further comment or discussion? If not, we'll proceed straight to the vote. Okay, let's vote on that, please.
That's discounted. Chair, that motion is carried.
Very good, thank you. Right, agenda item 8, appointment of chair. Yeah, appointment of chairs and vice chairs of committees for 25-26. Again, Appendix A to the report is provided in the supplementary agenda pack. Before I invite the Leader of the Council to move the appointments of members of committees, I've been advised of the following additional nominations to those published. Chair, Employment Committee, it's me. Do any of the group leaders wish to make a nomination to the vacant chair or vice chair positions, which are as listed: Joint Staff Consultative Committee, Chair, Vice Chair Employment Committee, Chair Employment Appeals Committee and Vice Chair, Chair and Vice Chair Council Tax Setting Committee? Are there any? Councillor Ralph Muntzer. Ralph.
On a point of information personally, are we accepting nominations from the floor in terms of the stated positions as on the agenda papers? For example, the Planning Control Committee.
I think that's coming up, isn't it? The Planning Control Committee is coming later. You want to add?
I would like to nominate someone from the floor.
What, for chair of planning?
For chair of planning. Is that, would that be in order?
Yeah.
Councillor Elizabeth Dennis, and I believe I have a seconder.
Okay. Thank you. Daniel Allen.
So she can't be put forward as chair.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Matt Barnes.
Yeah, I was going to ask this later, but I'll ask now as we're on the topic. Just some advice on whether it's appropriate for the chair of the Planning Control Committee to be married to the executive member.
Yes,
there's nothing that precludes it. We'd expect the same level of professionalism, which I'm sure we will see from those members. Obviously, each matter is dealt with in an open and transparent manner, and obviously would expect anyone to, especially in the role of the PCC, because it's a regulatory committee and quasi-judicial, that they come to that matter in an apolitical manner and to deal with each application on its merits.
Yeah.
Thank you. Right, so we can't accept that. Liz Dennis.
Sorry.
Thank you. I'm advised, Councillor Muntzer, that we can't accept that because the councillor you're nominating is not actually on the committee. Well, yes. Are there any other? You want that? So we've got a couple of nominees for overview and scrutiny chair and vice chair of Planning Control Committee. Before we go to a vote on that, I'll just check that there are no withdrawals, nobody withdrawing their nominations or anything. No? Okay. So what we're going to do now is this, the recommendation is that the chairs and vice chairs of committees, except the community forums for 2025-26, be appointed in accordance with the details set out in Appendix A to the report, published as a supplement as amended, except for chair and vice chair of overview and scrutiny and vice chair of Planning Control Committee. Can I have a proposer and am I proposing that? No. Can I have a proposer and seconder, please? Councillor Bryant, Val.
Happy to propose.
Okay, and a seconder, please. Daniel.
Second.
Okay, thank you. Any debate on that, or can we just move to the vote, seeing as those are unopposed? All right, if you can just vote on that, please.
Yeah, that motion is carried.
Thanks very much, Susan. Now, with great relief, I'm going to take a break here and hand over. You want, okay. Before I can do that, can I just have that?
Sorry.
Thank you. I now have to formally ask for proposers and seconders for each of the positions that are going to be voted on. For Overview and Scrutiny Committee Chair, I have listed Ralph Munzer. Can I have a proposer and a seconder for that, please? Councillor Martin Prescott.
I'm happy to propose.
Thanks, Martin. Can I have a seconder? Stephen Patmore. Thanks, Stephen.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then the other proposed chair is Claire Winchester. Can I have a Ruth Brown? Thank you. Proposes and a seconder. Chris Lucas.
Yeah.
Thank you very much indeed. So duly proposed and seconded. Do you want me to do them all? Right.
Okay.
So vice chair, we have Martin Prescott listed. So can I have a proposal for Martin Prescott? Ralph Munzer proposing.
Happy to propose.
Thank you. And a seconder, David Barnard. Thank you very much indeed. So duly proposed and seconded. And then for vice chair, we also have John Claydon. Can I have a proposer, please? Chris Lucas proposing, David Chalmers seconding. Thank you very much indeed. Where's our next one? Oh, just this one here. Vice Chair of Planning Control Committee, Martin Prescott has been put forward. Can I have a proposer, please? Ralph Munzer, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
David Barnard seconding. And the other one is Emma Fernandez. Can I have a proposer, please? Daniel Allen, thank you. And a seconder, Val Bryant. Thank you very much indeed. So those people have been duly proposed and seconded. I will now hand over to committee member and services manager James. Please rescue me.
Thank you, Chair. So for this one, this is a yes button only vote, and we'll work through Chair of Overview and Scrutiny, Vice Chair of Overview and Scrutiny, and then Vice Chair of Planning Control Committee. So when indicated, please use the yes button on your microphone unit to indicate a vote in favour of Councillor Ralph Munzer becoming Chair of Overview and Scrutiny Committee. After that, you'll be asked to use the yes button to indicate a vote in favour of Councillor Claire Winchester becoming Chair of Overview and Scrutiny Committee. You must only select a yes vote once, and please do not use any other voting option at this stage. We'll now move to the vote. Please use the yes button on your microphone unit to indicate a vote in favour of Councillor Ralph Munzer becoming Chair of Overview and Scrutiny Committee. Thank you. That's 6 votes in favour of Councillor Munzer. Please now use the yes button on your microphone unit to indicate a vote in favour of Councillor Claire Winchester becoming Chair of Overview and Scrutiny Committee. Thank you, and that's 18 votes in favour of Councillor Winchester. Therefore, Councillor Winchester is elected as Chair of Overview and Scrutiny Committee. We now move on to the Vice Chair of Overview and Scrutiny. Please use the yes button on your microphone unit to indicate a vote in favour of Councillor Martin Prescott becoming Vice Chair. After that, you'll be asked to use the yes button to indicate a vote in favour of Councillor John Claydon becoming Vice Chair. Again, you must only select a yes vote once, and please do not use any other voting option. Please use the yes on your microphone unit to indicate a vote in favour of Councillor Martin Prescott becoming Vice Chair of Overview and Scrutiny Committee. Thank you. That's 6 votes in favour of Martin Prescott. Please now use the yes button on your microphone unit to indicate a vote in favour of Councillor John Claydon becoming Vice Chair of Overview and Scrutiny Committee. Thank you. That's 17 votes in favour of Councillor Claydon. Therefore, Councillor Claydon is elected as Vice Chair of Overview and Scrutiny Committee. Finally, we move on to the Vice Chair of Planning Control Committee. Please use the yes button to first vote in favour of Councillor Martin Prescott becoming Vice Chair. After that, you'll be asked to use the yes button to indicate a vote in favour of Councillor Emma Fernandez becoming Vice Chair. You must only select yes vote once, and please do not use any other voting options. Please use the yes button now on your microphone unit to indicate a vote in favour of Councillor Martin Prescott becoming Vice Chair of Planning Control Committee. Thank you. That's 6 votes in favour of Councillor Prescott. Please now use the yes button on your microphone unit to indicate a vote in favour of Councillor Emma Fernandez becoming Vice Chair of Planning Control Committee. Thank you. That's 21 votes in favour of Councillor Emma Fernandez. Therefore, Councillor Emma Fernandez is elected as Vice Chair of Planning Control Committee. Back to you, Chair.
Thanks. I've got Martin Prescott. Martin.
I'd just like to congratulate the victors in those elections. They were closely fought, but they won a good fight. Thank you.
Martin, I applaud your collegiate spirit. Thank you. Right, item 9. We're now going to do community forum. So technically we're adjourning the meetings to allow the community forum to convene to elect their chairs and vice chairs for the civic year. Please remain seated and take part when the respective community forum to which you are a member is being considered. And I can now hand it back to James to run the vote for that.
Thank you. Back to me again. So I will propose to call nominations for both chair and vice chair. We'll also take any apologies for absence, which I haven't updated, for each committee. We'll go through alphabetically. So we'll be beginning with the Baldock and Villages Community Forum. This is for the following members only. If you can please stand if you're able. Councillors Cameron, Councillors Jarvis, Councillor Muir, Councillor Rowe, Councillor Tyson, and Councillor Alistair Willoughby and Councillor Stuart Willoughby. Are there any apologies for absence? None. Thank you. Can I ask for nominations for Chair of the Baldock and Villages Community Forum for 25-26? Yep. Who you counts? Oh, sorry, I don't have any access to the screen, so if you can just raise your hand. Councillor Willoughby. And is there a seconder for Councillor Alistair Willoughby as chair? Councillor Rowe, thank you. Are there any further nominations for chair? No, thank you then. Councillor Alistair Willoughby is elected as chair for 25-26. Can I now ask for nominations for vice chair of the Baldock and Villages Community Forum 25-26? Councillor Cameron.
Nominate Councillor Emma Rowe.
Councillor Emma Rowe. And the seconder for Councillor Rowe? Councillor Willoughby, Stuart?
Yes.
And that's are there any further nominations for vice chair? No, thank you then. Councillor Emma Rowe is elected as Vice Chair for 25-26, and I now close this meeting of the Baldock Community Forum. Next up is the Hitchin Community Forum. This is for the following members: Councillors Albert, Councillors Claire Billing, Councillor Bryant, Councillor Claydon, Councillor Collins, Councillor Dennis, Councillor Hoskins, Councillor Lucas, Councillor Mason, Councillor Winstanley, Councillor Wright, and Councillor Wright Mason. Are there any apologies for absence? We've got Councillor Claire Billing apologies. Any further apologies? No. Can I ask for nominations to Chair of the Hitchin Community Forum? Councillor Winstanley.
Nominate Councillor Ian Albert.
Thank you. And a seconder for Councillor Albert? Councillor Hoskins, thank you. Are there any further nominations? Then Councillor Ian Albert is elected as the Chair for 25-26. Can I ask for nominations to Vice Chair of the Hitchin Community Forum?
I'd like to nominate Councillor Claire Billing as Vice Chair of the Hitchin Community Forum.
Thank you. And do we have a seconder for Councillor Billing? Thank you, Councillor Mason. Are there any other proposers for nominations? No, then Councillor Claire Billing is elected as Vice Chair for 25-26, and I now close this meeting of the Hitchin Community Forum. Letchworth Community Forum. This is for the following members: Councillors Amy Allen, Councillor Daniel Allen, Councillor Bartwas, Councillor Sadie Billing, Councillor Chalmers, Councillor Debenham, Councillor Fernandez, Councillor Mantle, Councillor Nolan, Councillor Prendergast, Councillor Thomas, and Councillor Winchester. Councillor Tamsin Thomas has given her apologies. Are there any further apologies from the Letchworth Community Forum? No. Can I have nominations for the Chair of the Letchworth Community Forum? Councillor Nolan. Thank you. Is there a seconder for Councillor Sadie Billing? And that's Councillor Mantle. Thank you. Any further nominations? No, thank you then. Councillor Sadie Billing is elected as the Chair of Letchworth Community Forum for 25-26. Can I ask for nominations to Vice Chair of the Letchworth Community Forum? Councillor Allen.
Councillor Tamsin Thomas.
And a seconder for Councillor Thomas. Thank you, Councillor Billing. Are there any further nominations for that position? Great. Then Councillor Tamsin Thomas is elected as Vice Chair of the Letchworth Community Forum, and I now close that meeting of the Letchworth Community Forum. Royston and Villages Community Forum. This is for the following members: Councillor Barnes, Councillor Brown, Councillor Brown-John, Councillor Clifton, Councillor Johnson, Councillor Sarah Lucas, Councillor May, and Councillor Prescott. Are there any apologies? Councillor Tim Johnson, thank you. Can I ask for nominations to the Chair of Royston and Villages? Councillor Brown.
I'd like to nominate Councillor Johnson for Chair.
Thank you. And seconder for that? Councillor Barnes. Thank you. Are there any further nominations for Chair? Then Councillor Johnson is elected as Chair for 25-26. Can I ask for nominations for Vice Chair of the Royston and Villages Community Forum? Councillor Brown.
I'd like to nominate Councillor May for Vice Chair.
Councillor May, thank you. And a seconder for Councillor May. Thank you, Councillor Barnes. Any further nominations? Then Councillor Bridie May is elected as the Vice Chair for 25-26. Thank you. And I now close that meeting of the Royston Community Forum. And finally, Councillors Southern Rural Community Forum. That includes Councillors Barnard, Councillor Graziano, Councillor Griffiths, Councillor McDonnell, Councillor Munzer, Councillor Nash, Councillor Patmore, Councillor Peace, Councillor Pupallissingham, Councillor Strong, Councillor Ward, and Councillor Williams. I have apologies from Dominic Griffiths, Councillor Strong, and Councillor Paul Ward. Are there any further apologies? Oh, and Caroline McDonald. Yep, thank you. I have got them. Can I ask for nominations to Chair? Councillor Peace.
Councillor Dominic Griffiths.
And is there a seconder for Dominic Griffiths? Thank you, Councillor Nash. Are there any further nominations? Councillor Munzer.
Councillor David Barnard.
And a seconder for Councillor Barnard, Councillor Patmore. Thank you. Therefore, we'll have our first vote on a chair this evening. Please raise your hand in favour of Councillor Griffiths becoming chair. I've just realised what's happened. We've got 4 people. And thank you very much. And now please raise your hand in favour of Councillor Barnard becoming. So we are tied. Who we elect at the first meeting. So we will be unable We'll be unable to elect a chair at tonight's meeting, therefore it will become the first item at the next meeting, of the Southern Rural Community Forum. Are there any nominations for Vice Chair of Southern Rural Community Forum? Councillor Munzer.
Councillor Joe Graziano.
Thank you. And a seconder for Councillor Graziano. Thank you, Councillor Patmore. And any other nominations for Vice Chair? Councillor Williams.
To nominate Councillor Pippa-Lessingham.
Yep. Thank you. And a seconder. Thank you, Councillor Pippa-Lessingham. And so we'll now take a vote on that, unless there are any further nominations. Nope, thank you. Then we'll vote on Councillor Graziano as Vice Chair first. Please raise your hand to indicate a vote in favour. And in favour of Councillor Pippa-Lessingham. Well, again, that is now a tie. Therefore, that will move to the next meeting of the Southern Rural Community Forum. Thank you so much for your time this evening. That concludes the adjournment.
Thanks very much, James. Who'd have thought Southern Rural, a hotbed of controversy there? Right. Item 10 on the agenda, the Leader's Annual Report on Cases of Special Urgency. Can I invite the Leader of the Council, Daniel Allen, to present the report and move the recommendations?
Thank you. I think we can take these as read. I'm welcome to any questions on them, but they've all gone through overview and scrutiny and cabinet, so I'm happy to take them as read.
Much taking those as read. Any questions or comments? Good. So you are proposing that, and can I have a seconder, please? Val Bright. Oh, Matt. Val.
Go on then. Go for it, Matt.
Don't mind. Whoever got there first. Right. Thank you. Any debate? Don't know why I always automatically turn that way when it says any debate. Sorry, I'd get a crick in my neck by the end of the year. Right. Okay, then we'll have a vote on it. So all those in favour?
Chair, that motion is carried.
Thank you very much. We are cracking on nicely with this, so I'm going to suggest we just plod on. Item 11 is approval of a programme of council meetings 25-26. Again, I'm going to invite Daniel Allen, Leader of the Council, to move the approval of the programme of ordinary meetings for the Council for the civic year 25-26.
I move it.
Thank you very much indeed. Any questions or comments? Seconded by Councillor Munzer. I love this cross-party working. It's good. Right. Any debate? Don't tell me that. Okay, go to the vote, please.
Yeah, that motion is carried.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Susan. Right, well, I think we're coming towards the last item now. Right, item 12 is the nomination of representatives on outside organisations and other bodies for 25-26. Again, you will have seen Appendix A. Jeanette throwing stuff at me. Appendix A to the report is provided in the supplementary agenda pack. Before I invite the Leader of the Council to move the appointments of members of committees, I've been advised of the following additional nominations to those published. Baldock Community Association Councillor Emma Rowe, Baldock United Almshouse Charity Emma Rowe, Citizens Advice North Herts Tina Bartwas, and Herts Health Scrutiny Committee Substitute Tina Bartwas. Jackman's Community Association Tamsin Thomas, Sadie Billing to replace Councillor Sean Nolan as published, and Councillor Sean Prendergast. Letchworth Civic Trust Tina Bartwas, and the Howard Garden Social and Daycare Centre Claire Winchester. Any others that we've missed or no? Okay. Further to those. Oh, sorry, Ruth.
I hope I haven't got this wrong, but did you mention Grange Fellowship?
No.
Tina Bartwas to be added to that.
Okay.
And Letchworth Civic Trust, did you mention them?
Yes.
And Tina Bartwas is on that
Yes.
already. Okay, that's
Yes.
fine. Okay, that's
Right.
fine. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Further to those positions, there remain a number of vacancies on outside organisations, namely Hitchin Educational Foundation, Howard Garden Social and Daycare Centre, and North Hart Centre for Voluntary Service. Each of those have a vacancy. Yeah, Ralph.
Would I be able to nominate Councillor Michael Muir onto the Howard Garden Social and Daycare Centre, as well as the Letchworth Civic Trust?
Sorry.
On the organisations,
Which organisation?
the Garden Footy.
Civic Trust.
We're talking about Howard Garden. Howard Garden. You want to ask Councillor Muir if he is a trustee already?
Councillor Muir. Michael, are you a trustee of either of those?
As I know.
Okay.
He is.
Well, pending you not being, I suggest we carry on forward. And if we find that you are, I'm sure you'll do the decent thing. Okay. Yes.
I'm
Daniel.
also 99% sure that Councillor Muir sits on the Letchworth Civic Trust already.
I do not, because I was a county council appointment to that, and I'm no longer a county councillor.
That was a genuine mistake and not rubbing salt. I apologise.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Chair. Hitchin Educational Foundation.
Yeah.
It says there's a vacancy, but actually those 5 people were nominated for 4 years, and so Councillor Hoskins, your good self, should be on that list.
Oh, right. Okay. I have been to meetings, so I am on it. All right. We can remove that then as being not a vacancy. Have we had any other chess pieces to move on this board of outside organisations? He's not. Yeah, sorry, North Herts Council for Voluntary Service. Is there still a vacancy on that, Ruth?
I'd like to nominate Tina Bartwas if there is still a vacancy.
Okay. Thank you. Gosh. It's like filling in a Sudoku here. Daniel.
I'd like to recommend Councillor Alistair Willoughby to sit on the Howard Garden Social Centre.
Okay. I'm sorry, my officers here are having trouble keeping up with all this. Sorry.
And Social and Daycare Centre, according to Charities Commission.
Michael Muir. Michael.
Can I say I am chairman of the management committee at the Howard Garden Day Centre?
Okay. So that would preclude this appointment. You get that? So Michael Muir can't be on Howard. I think we'll be ready to present you with some.
Can you just ask about this one as well as
following
I
the
think I'd like
comments-
some as well, really. Yes.
Well, quite. I think we all do. But following sort of a discussion just briefly with Councillor Muir, he said that the basis of his appointment to the Howard Garden Social and Daycare Centre was the fact that he was previously a county councillor. Unfortunately, he's no longer a county councillor, and as such, one would submit that he is eligible in this circumstance to be nominated from this authority to sit on that outside body.
Well, I think at this point we are unsure, so it's something we're going to need to check up on. Right, Daniel. Yes, please do, Daniel.
May I propose that we take this particular thing to the next meeting so we can confirm all the information in time and have it at the next meeting? Is that acceptable?
Yeah.
I was going to propose. Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, we'll remove it from this list for tonight. The Howard Garden Social and Daycare Centre. Right. Right. We ready to go with this now? Yeah. Okay. So before I invite the Leader of the Council to move the recommendations, can I confirm whether either of the two nominees for the London Luton Airport Consultative Committee or one of the 4 nominees for the Jackman's Community Trust or one of the 4 for the 3 places on the Letchworth Civic Trust wishes to withdraw their nomination? So are there any nominations to be withdrawn on those 3? Letchworth Civic Trust, Jackman's Community Association or London Luton Airport Consultative Committee? If not, we will be voting. Councillor Brown, Ruth.
I withdraw Sean Prendergast's nomination from the Jackman's Community Association.
Right. Thank you. Councillor Debenham Mick.
Thank you, Keith. Thank you, Chair. For the Luton Airport Consultative Committee,
Yeah.
I was down there in my previous portfolio holding. I would like to nominate Councillor Emma Fernandez.
Thanks. Okay. So there are some votes to do. Do we want to?
we'll do the ones where we don't need to vote on.
I'm going to ask for the nomination of representatives on outside organisations and other bodies for 2025-26 as amended, excluding the ones that we're about to vote on, which I think are the 2 London Luton Airport Consultative Committee and Letchworth Civic Trust. So can you vote on all the others then, please? Oh, I need a proposer and seconder. Thanks, Daniel. And a seconder. Thanks, Nigel Mason. Right, so can we, any other debate? No, so let's go to the vote. So that's everything that we then haven't got to vote on.
Chair, that motion is carried.
Thank you very much. And I think I can now hand over to, with some relief, to James to make some sense of the rest of it.
Thank you, Chair. So we will require 2 votes this evening for where we've received more nominations. As Councillor Hoskins, Chair, has said, it's London Luton Airport Consultative Committee and the Letchworth Civic Trust. We will start with the London Luton Airport Consultative Committee. There are 2 nominations proposed for the 1 representative on this. When indicated, please use the yes button on your microphone unit to indicate a vote in favour of Councillor Emma Fernandez, becoming the council's representative, following which you'll be asked to use the yes button on your microphone unit to indicate a vote in favour of Councillor Sam Collins, becoming the council's representative. You may only vote 1 time, do not use any other buttons, and do not vote more than once. Please use the yes button on your microphone unit to indicate a vote in favour of Councillor Emma Fernandez, becoming the council's representative. Thank you. That's 23 votes for Councillor Fernandez. Sorry, 22. Thank you. And please now use the yes button on your microphone unit to indicate a vote in favour of Councillor Sam Collins, becoming the council's representative on the London Luton Airport Consultative Committee. That's 21 votes in favour of Councillor Sam Collins. Therefore, Councillor Emma Fernandez is elected as the representative. We will now move on to the final one, which is for the Letchworth Civic Trust. There are 4 nominations proposed for the 3 representatives on this. When indicated, please use the yes button on your microphone unit to indicate a vote in favour of, I wrote them on here, Councillor Tina Bartwas, becoming the representative, following which you'll be asked to indicate a vote in favour of Michael Muir, becoming the council's representative, following which you'll be asked to vote yes in favour of Councillor Fernandez, becoming the council's representative, following which you'll be asked to vote yes in favour of Councillor Daniel Allen, becoming the council's representative. In this one, you may vote yes 3 times. Do not use any other button to vote, and do not vote more than thrice. We will now move to the vote. Yes. Oh, sorry, yeah. Please use the yes button on your microphone unit to indicate a vote in favour of Councillor Tina Bartwas, becoming the council's representative on Letchworth Civic Trust. That's 20 votes for Councillor Bartwas. Please now use your yes button to vote in favour of Councillor Michael Muir, becoming the council representative. That's 6 votes for Councillor Muir. Please use the yes button on your microphone unit to indicate a vote in favour of Emma Fernandez being the council's representative on the Letchworth Civic Trust. Thank you. That's 22 votes for Councillor Fernandez. And finally, please use the yes button on your microphone unit to indicate a vote in favour of Councillor Daniel Allen becoming the council's representative on the Letchworth Civic Trust. You can press yes if you need to. Change. Press it. If you want to vote yes, change. There's 20 votes in favour of Councillor Allen. Therefore, Councillor Tina Bartwas, Councillor Emma Fernandez and Councillor Daniel Allen are elected as the council's representatives on the Letchworth Civic Trust. Thank you. Back to you, Chair.
Yeah, well done, James, on that. Very good. Thank you, everybody. I did say when I started this meeting, I'd try and get it done by 9 o'clock, so we're not too bad. May they all go like that. Thank you all for attending this annual meeting of Full Council. I would now like to close it. The next Full Council meeting is an extraordinary meeting. They're all extraordinary, aren't they? On Monday, the 16th of June, when we'll be discussing the Baldock Master Plan, Standards Committee annual report and the appointment of a monitoring officer. So please do try and make it. Thank you all very much, and see you on the 16th, if not before.